Hi everyone, it's me, Crafty Witch, and welcome back to my channel. Welcome to a portion of my backyard. On the other side of those hedges is the rest of my backyard, but there's a fence being built. See this fence here? It goes all the way, goes way past these hedges, all the way back to the back alley. And then my landlord is completing the rest of the fence to completely fence off the yard. He installed this part from like my door all the way through to the back alley last year. And when I had talked about, I think in one of my videos, about all the ravens, like the day the love of my life died, I had ravens from one end of the fence all the way through to the very end of the fence. There had to have been, I don't know, at least 100 ravens, but they were sitting like shoulder to shoulder. Some are facing north, some are facing south, but they sat shoulder to shoulder all along the whole entire length of the fence, and it was pretty awe-inspiring. And the minute I saw that, I knew that somebody had passed away. I just didn't think it was him. That was one of the most heartbreaking things I've ever talked about or ever experienced. But anyway, I want to come and sit outside and enjoy this gorgeous weather that we finally have. And we got birds over here that are talking up a storm. And we had a couple ravens here that were doing a lot of talking for quite some time. And then there was a crow that was cawing. And then we had I think a couple robins and some chickadees, and I'm not sure what bird is doing all this chattering right now, but they're busy doing their bird stuff that they do, so that was pretty neat. I had to laugh because the other day, well, probably about 4 days ago, I was inside and I could hear a baby kitten crying and crying. And because my landlord had dug like these deep holes, they're about 3 feet deep, and he put like all these big fence posts in all these holes. He braced up the fence posts, and then he's left them for like, I don't know, 2 weeks or so. And I could hear this baby kitten crying and crying and crying. And I was like, oh no, what if baby kitten fell into one of those holes? Like, there's no way it could get out of there. And it sounded exactly like a baby kitten. So I come out and I'm looking at these holes, and I thought, you know what, I'm going to go and get one of my sons to come and look at the rest of the holes to, let's look for this baby kitten and just make sure it didn't fall into any of those holes. It wasn't a baby kitten. It was one of these birds. So here we are. We're looking through these holes. And he's grumbling and grouchy with me because I don't know, he was busy doing something when I came and got him to help me. And then he's climbing through these bushes and stuff. And then it turned out to be a bird. And then he's like, "You hauled me outside for a bird?" It was funny. I had to laugh, and I was like, well, so you're not a hero today. Who knew that that bird would sound just like a baby kitten? Kind of thing. I laughed. I thought it was funny. He didn't find the humor in it the way I did. So, yeah. I think today we're probably going to have a barbecue. My other son is down visiting, and he'll be leaving on Monday morning. It's Saturday right now, so... And it's so gorgeous. I think we'll have a nice barbecue and eat outside today. I think that'll be really nice to do. This video really was going to talk about stuff that's kind of spiritual, but I figured I'll just rather visit with you guys a little bit. What's been happening with you guys? How are you guys enjoying your summer so far? Are you able to spend some time outdoors? Are you having decent weather? How have you guys been coping with this whole global pandemic thing that's happening? There's a lot of stuff going on in the world, a lot of unique energy happening. It's been a time of constraint for a lot of folks. Uh, but for others, it's also been a time of reflection and going within and doing a lot of self evaluation, maybe doing a lot of work on yourself, uh, looking within, um, just becoming more self aware. And at the same time, on the opposite end of the spectrum, there's people that are losing their minds and, like, the outbursts and the violence and the hatred that has just erupted. It really reminds me of when, um, like, for instance, if there's a death in somebody's family, I've always said, and I'm a strong believer in this, that a death in a family, it will do one of two things. Either it will bring out the best in the family, and you'll see a family come together and support one another and work together during such a sad time. But they'll come together, they'll work together. They might be able to even find moments of laughter during that time, but they'll come together in support and in unity. Um, or I've also seen within a family, when there has been a death, families literally tearing themselves apart. You see what I call the vultures kind of circling around. They're the ones that they want to know, well, how much money was left for me, or who's going to get the farm, or who's going to get the car, or who's going to get the money in the bank, or what did so-and-so give to me, or I want so-and-so's fine china, or I want so-and-so's, this or that. Um, you see a lot of that happen. You also see a lot of power tripping happen. Somebody wanting to take control of the situation, or trying to dominate everybody else in the family, not really listening to other people's uh, opinions or thoughts, or taking other people's, maybe their feelings into account during that time. Um, yeah, so either, like, in my belief is, either a funeral will either bring out the best or the worst in a family, and you'll see it right there. That's when the true colors really come out. I've seen that now on a global spectrum, like on a global scale, and it's pretty wild to sit back and to observe it all. I've seen incredible, beautiful moments of humanity during this very challenging time that many people are facing, whether it's about the pandemic, whether it's about racism, or whatever the case might be. Some kind of there's something went buzzing by me, but there's been, like, these beautiful moments of just love and humanity and unity. And then there's been these horrific moments of hatred, violence, blame, and of discord, and uh, just it's a sickness, and it's quite alarming to see how people will justify that kind of behavior, and that kind of hatred, and that kind of thing. So when I see stuff like that, I keep thinking to myself, we need more healing, we've got to heal, we need more healing. And, I'll do more healing prayers or rituals and things like that for the world and for people. And maybe that's something we can all do in our own way. Instead of complaining about the way things are and how bad they are, let's do something to try to make it better. Let's try to find a way that we can support our fellow brothers and sisters of the human race, and of the animal kingdom as well, our planet. Like, what can we do to help? And what can we do to help support and to bring healing to this world? And it can be something as simple as just being kind to people, and maybe holding the door open for somebody. Maybe it's maybe you have an elderly neighbor, and offer to cut the grass for them, help them with their yard work or something. Um, there's so many different ways that we can try to help one another and support one another, and hopefully overcome a lot of the bigotry and the hatred and the evilness that is just you know lurking just just below the surface. Like it's it's almost like when there's something that happens, people will use that as a justification to give themselves free rein to sow discord or hatred among others. And we need to keep that in check, and we need to really contend with those kind of energies and those kind of forces that are out there in our world, and do what we can to counteract that with positivity and with kindness and love. And I'm not talking about being a hippie or anything like that, but hey, if that's what you want to do, that's great. I am by far no means like a hippie all love kind of person. I do have my own warrior nature about me, but use it in a good way. You know, stand up for those that are suffering. That is the bird. Um, that one, when I was inside my house, that I thought sounded like a kitten, and dragged my kid out here to help me look for it because I thought he was trapped or something. But that's a bird. Sounds like a little kitten though. Yeah, I think there's a lot of things that we can do to really help humanity in one way or another. Just start off by being kind. It's really that simple. Um, Somebody cuts you off in traffic, maybe instead of flipping them off or having a bout of road rage, you know, maybe just step back and think to yourself, you know what, maybe they just had a death in their family that morning. And that's the raven. Sounds like he's right behind me somewhere. Um, yeah, like maybe put yourself in somebody else's shoes. Maybe try to have more empathy for people. It's all it takes, you know. Maybe the person that looks really grouchy and is, forced to, you know, process your groceries at the grocery store. Maybe she, I don't know, maybe she lives with chronic pain and she just looks like she's angry all the time, but meanwhile she's in chronic pain, but she's still trying to work and make a life for her family. Just don't be so quick to judge. And I think that's where this whole pandemic thing has really, and other things that are occurring in our world, people are just so quick to judge without hearing both sides of a situation. And I've always said that there's three sides to the truth. You know, there's side A, side B. You think of a coin, you think there's only three sides or two sides, but there's actually three. There's side A, side B, and then the edge, right? And the edge is what goes around in the full circle. See, Raven agrees. And usually the third side is a combination of both A and B. And that's where usually the truth is. So it's not just A's perspective or B's perspective. It's usually a combination of both. And it takes into account both and that kind of thing. So some of my Saturday afternoon ramblings, just enjoying the beautiful weather and the birds that are keeping me company. Yeah, my son Lanston was pretty pissed off with me when Lanny, there's a baby kitten outside. I can hear him crying. We gotta go save him. And it wasn't. It was a bird. It was a happy bird, just talking. It's kind of funny. So, well, I've probably bored you guys enough as it is. Thank you for joining me, and I hope you have a wonderful, beautiful day or night. Don't know when you're going to watch this, and I hope you have a blessed life. Ciao.